Hey everybody, Rodham here for another Stellaris episode. So last episode we started a war with the Lozanvada, or Lozavada, and some of you had some questions and feedback. So one question was the cost-benefit analysis of whether I should use gun batteries versus fleets to suppress pirates. Fleets, if you micromanage them, could be possibly cheaper. So this fleet, for instance, is costing me about 2 2/3 energy and just a little over half an alloy, as you can see here, per month. Now, the advantages of the stations, and let me just continue this war while I yammer on about this. The advantages of the stations is that they don't require alloys. So if alloys is a bottleneck to your armies or your fleets, then yeah, I would say probably go with ship stations rather than fleets. But if you like to micromanage a lot, then yeah, it's possible that fleets get a little bit of an edge. But that's up to you. All right, so we have now taken Aether here. We left off in the middle of invading it. So we're going to send our ships trucking along to the next possible position to invade. And let's see, I think droid workers would probably be best for me at this point. Doing a little bit of census on the planets, making sure that we're not falling behind on jobs or... Oop, we are missing a governor. Let's not miss a governor. So I'm upgrading the research labs here. So what this is noteworthy because the upgraded version of the research lab will require exotic gas upkeep, which means that my income of one exotic gas will go to 0. There are ways to get more exotic gases later on, but that means that I have to be careful not using
competitive station engaged
exotic gases for, you know, for future buildings because I don't have the upkeep for it. So, for instance, if I wanted to get some volatile motes, which I do, I could build a chemical plant. So for instance here on Dorfil, maybe I do that because I'm running out of jobs here. I'm going to build a chemical plant to start making the motes. Alright, their fleet tried their best to repel mine, their best being pretty pathetic, and I crushed them. They are not doing so well. Another one of you asked, G is how I merge fleets. By default, you just hit G, and all the fleets that are selected will merge, which is pretty handy. You can merge them manually like this, but the hotkey is G. That's a lot faster. So Care Bear was the one that had the question about the anchorages versus the stripped down corvettes. When you're fighting piracy, it doesn't really matter what weapons you have on your corvettes at all. Just the fact that it's a corvette gives you the ability to fight piracy. So you could literally probably have no weapons on it and it would still function. I'm actually curious about that. Maybe I'll make a corvette with nothing. Out of sheer curiosity, let's try that. Just as a thought experiment. So, new design, a corvette. Section, doesn't really matter. We're not putting anything on it. Name, Doppler. Well, that's funny, because that's like... FTL drive, I think we need an FTL drive. But, alright, so Doppler. Its upkeep is about... It's considerably... Okay, yeah, we would need an FTL drive. Its upkeep is indeed, I don't know, about 1/3 as much as the ships I had made already. So let's call them Pirate Hunters and save it and crank out 2 Pirate Hunters. And I think this will work. This is sort of a min-maxing, cheaper way of doing it. As for my war, I honestly don't even think I need to invade one more of their colonies. I am at a war score of 0. Taking Brink here will send them over the brink. And an artist troupe has contacted me. Let's go ahead and become the patron of this artist, which gives us opinion with them, which doesn't really matter. But it also gives us Quadrivox. Oh, hey there. You're new. Not much of a rind on you. It gives us the ability to gain extra unity. So our unity gain per month, if I look next month, let me fast forward one more month. There it is. Unity gain has gone up from being a patron. I'm trying to find the stats for that. It's kind of it's hidden in there. I'll find it later, so I'm not nose deep in my UI. Alright, so I'm gonna go capture Brink, and they'll probably fold. They'll probably give up once I do that. Vryn here now has a research complex. So this research complex, as you can see, the upkeep has only gone up by 1 energy credit. And then 1 exotic gas, but it has 5 jobs opposed to 2. So it employs more people and thereby generates more science, and also offers more jobs per square, per tile. Okay, so as you can see, the war has finished up. Let me continue one more month. There we go. So if we look at my money, for instance, subject taxes are giving me 26 energy credits per month. And that's because they are now my tributary. They pay me tribute to exist, basically. All right. We were going to replace our regular fleet with the Pirate Hunters fleet. The Pirate Hunters fleet really has no ability to defend itself. I'm not going to sign a defensive pact with anyone. So if you look at the diplomatic mode, yellow means they're a subject. And if we look at the map mode, as you can see, they're now my color. So we are allies in that way. That also means that I could pretty safely open a trade compact with them once they don't hate my guts. Here they are. They actually don't hate me that bad. They mostly think I'm a threat, but they're also just loyal at the moment. I might go ahead and throw them a little bit of a bone. I did just rage war on them. If I can butter them up a little bit, they might not hate me. Might be easier to form a trade agreement. There we are. Now they're loyal. See, that didn't take very much time. Now, I'm not sure you can have a commercial pact with, yeah, they must be independent. Well, that's fine. I'd rather have them be loyal anyway. And giving them some money to support their infrastructure benefits me in the long run because they pay me taxes. So the more they build up, the more I benefit. So Dolfril is making a chemical plant, and that will do the volatile motes. And then I also need an income of rare crystals. Keep in mind that your income can also be fractional. So although it looks like I'm making 0, I'm actually producing 0.3 exotic gases. It just rounds down.
Potential market survey completed.
Where are you going? Why are you surveying way out that way? You have something closer to survey. I have no idea. All right, so now, as you can see, at the end of this month, we'll be making volatile motes. We also just raised our administrative capacity so that we are not paying extra taxes to support our size, which is great. Looking at my potential research, I'm going to go with hyper entertainment forums, which is one way to keep your populace happy and crime free. Now the max piracy is getting pretty close to the protected trade value here. It will soon overtake, so I got to be cautious about that. I do have 2 additional starbase capacities, but I don't need to use them yet. Additionally, Gobert, Drumpf, and one other person, sorry, I forgot who, mentioned that there is a building called, if you scroll all the way down, Strongholds, which adds to naval capacity. So I could, out of curiosity, let's build one of those. I'll probably not keep it. It's not a very good building to have because it doesn't offer a lot of jobs or housing or anything, but just as a somewhat of a thought experiment, we'll crank one of those out. Alright, we are running out of housing here. Let's go and work on that. And I found the crystalline asteroids. That system is sketchy. Let's get out of there. Government, let's get a little bit more housing. Our governor's cap is probably not met yet. Yeah, we actually do have a level 5 out of 6 governor, so that other tradition might have been useful, but not yet. Kicking that researcher out for this one. I realized I had a Spark of Genius scientist not being utilized. I'm gonna fire him. He's only level 2. He don't mind. So Hollow Theaters is the downgraded version. Oh, more aliens to encounter. Might as well start researching all that.
Upscaling complete.
Alright, so from Pop Jobs, +4 naval capacity. The, where is it? Stronghold here. Increase my naval capacity by 4. If I look at my population, I guess these are enforcers? Yeah, they must be oh no, soldiers.
Special project actualized. Situation log revised.
And I just got drone study. I'm going to do amoeba and drone study right now, which means I am foregoing hyper entertainment forum research for a bit, but that's okay. My best researchers on it, trying to get me up to speed. So yeah, now I can just go ahead and salvage my old fleet. My new fleet sits here in Chor's Compass and keeps the piracy at bay. And yeah, I really don't need to worry about it. And this fleet is considerably cheaper than my primary fleet to maintain. Now, still, I would say it's much easier just to build gun batteries and ideally hangars, although I don't have hangar research yet.
Upscaling complete.
As hangars are way more effective at dealing with pirates. And being offered some... nope. Nope. That seems like a good deal, but they wanted to take 2 of my population for a trade. Now, I want to go to war with the Koloktora. They are inferior to me in only technology. These guys are inferior to me in technology and fleet power. So if I think I was to guess, if I made another fleet... What am I currently researching? Yeah, if I made another destroyer fleet... I don't have any Zero. And I'm not gonna have any Zero. Ooh. Let's
Situation log
search
revised.
the abandoned ship. Where is this? Out here? Yep. Sometimes it's nice to just accept the consumer goods that you can get from it for free, but sometimes it's nice to try to see if there's any special treats you can get out of those research assignments. Now I'm going to build a spaceport here to become an anchorage station.
Research actualized.
Who is? What are you guys? And the reason I'm picking that spot is because eventually you can get black hole
Upscaling complete.
buildings that do some physics research there. So black holes are always good to put your anchorage stations, as that you'll be able to have them specialize. Gonna go ahead and
Special project actualized.
let's go with the evasion. That's pretty good. I'm going to sell off some of my resources in order to build up a fleet because I am posturing for war here. And then additionally, for my primary capital, let's go ahead and do a decision of encourage planetary growth using some of our food to increase growth by 25%
Project actualized.
for 10 years or so. And these guys, let's say mining station mineral output 10%, rather than I blow up their drones easier. Always read the fine text. Some options are very clearly better than others. Now, for right now, I'm making enough food. Oh, Sabtrack, you have some unemployment. So we already have a bunch of commercial zones. We have unemployment probably because I've disallowed the job. And that's exactly what it was. Because I was forcing them to become farmers rather than clerks. So yeah, that was a false alarm there. I will donate to you. Let's see if there's anything we can use. Recycling campaign wouldn't be bad. Capacity and production targets. Why not?
Upscaling complete.
And now we have a space station that's going to be pure anchorage station, which means I'm going to get rid of this stronghold. I'm just going to go ahead and demolish it. We're not going to need it. I generally don't like tying up planet buildings for things that I can get through space stations. So as soon as, yes, they're already inferior, that's good.
Upscaling complete.
That will allow us to subjugate them. I have artificially driven up the alloys market. Not artificially,
War
but
declared.
that was... Oh, Kolaktora declared war on the Urbot multiplex, which is these guys. So if I declare war on them, that means that they will be in a two-front war and far less able to defend against me. Because if I declare war on one, I declare war on both. They're in a defensive pact. So that's good to know. I definitely now is the time to go to war with my northeastern neighbor. Looking at my options here. Maybe ship upkeep reduction would be not bad. Alright, so as I said, it is the time to try to make the Magwedjal my subsidiaries.
We have only our customers' best interests at heart.
I already had my fleet sitting on their border, and I'm going to send my second fleet down to Dorfil to make sure that the
Upscaling
Kolaktora don't encroach on my territory. Just to keep them in check, you know? I don't suspect this is going to be a particularly difficult fight. I sort of waited until it was opportunistic for me to go to war. And that's how you do it. I like how I have more... Okay, I'm just going to do this because it's basically free. Planet build speed is nice. Civilian fabricators would be great, too. Maybe I'll do civilian fab.
Upscaling complete.
Now, the only issue with subjugating them is I've gone to war with both, so I'm also going to need to... Ooh, deep core mining, nice. I'm also going to need to do a lot of considerable damage to the Collectora as well, because they are part of the war. So just because I beat up on one doesn't mean they'll admit defeat or surrender or whatever. I've also upgraded my home system. I can add an off-world trading station or a fleet academy. Now,
assault.
for right now, I'm not even going to use... Yeah, I'm not even going to bother upgrading it just yet. Oh, they have a pretty decent fleet. It's of similar size to me. I think technology-wise, they're inferior, which is representative of their retreat. But that's not to say I didn't take damage. I'm going to go repair and reinforce once I can afford to. As you can see, during times of war... Ooh, that's too bad. During times of war, the cost of alloys gets somewhat artificially inflated because you are... the NPCs, the other empires will also buy alloys to
competitors detected.
Support their own fleets. Okay, so we have a fleet of about 900 coming my way to Dorfil. And I have a fleet of 900 on there. And we can sit there next to the space station and we will be definitely a stronger fleet than they will be. So they can take Saya, but they probably can't take Dorfil for me, or at least not with what I have right now. And that fleet is also being reinforced.
Upscaling complete.
Too.
Starbase under assault.
And they were dumb and decided to jump straight at me and blow their fleet up for unknown reasons. So looking at this enemy's fleet, let's try to figure out. It is mostly lasers. They have a little bit of a mix. It's mostly lasers, which means, as you can see here, shields is good against lasers. I can go mess with their territory a little bit, if I'm so inclined. As for my other areas, we need some city districts here. I have a chemical plant making volatile motes, but I think I'm also going to want alloy foundry here. In this spot, nothing yet. Here, I need some commercial zones. I need some clerks, honestly. But they just have yet to fill the jobs. If I want like that. The worry is their amenities are pretty low. Oh, we even have the Lazavada fleet coming to support us. And they have a second fleet trying to support them. So let's cut them in two here. I have my fleet and the Lozavada fleet side by side. My subsidiaries will also benefit. They will also assist me. So now that I'm starting to grab their territory, I am able to research the special projects that were locked up in their territories previously. So that's always useful. So here's a big Duke out, trying to damage their fleet as much as I can, and I have another discovery. And some research. I think railguns would be probably pretty good. So I will...
Research actualized.
I want to reinforce my fleet, but it is expensive. Ooh. What to research here? I think cheaper destroyers would be helpful in the short run. In the long run, obviously, less so. The scientist asking me if I want to continue my research agreement, and sure, that sounds good to me. And I've squished their fleets a bit, but I'm definitely going to want to repair again. Healthcare campaign relapsed, as did the numismatic visualization. We can get the numismatic again. Wow, I cannot afford alloys. There is definitely a mad rush for alloys right now. Oh, I literally watched that governor die. That was weird. Mad rush for alloys because there's a lot of wars happening in the galaxy, and as a result, alloys are being consumed at a much higher rate. Oh, you with materialistic authoritarians? Okay. Hello, welcome. Probably not going to be my allies in the long run. They are very persistent with their fleets. They're kind of throwing them away, if I'm being honest, but persistent. Now, although I don't really have the power in this fleet to take out any starports, I do have the power to take out their little systems, which somewhat cripples their economy. It cripples their ability to support their fleet sizes and all that. So that's what I'm doing. It's fighting a little fight, but taking them piece by piece. Now the scientist here can probably not get to the special project here without trouble. So I'm going to have him, or her, him, return back to Dorfil, where it's a little safer, and wait for the fleet to soften them up a bit more.
Upscaling complete.
Now, despite all of my alloy foundry people, which are, I guess, specialists, metallurgists, I still am not making a whole lot of alloys. Just so darn expensive to buy them, too. Alright, so they keep attacking me. I keep repelling them. And I have blown up many, many fleets now.
Upscaling complete.
Oh, let's not go that way. Let's go this way. I don't want to have to pick a bigger fight than I need to.
Upscaling complete.
Alright, Dorfil Prime now has an alloy foundry, which will help a little bit. My fleets have been successfully resupplied. I just need to wait for the resupply ships. But they here have a fleet that will defeat me. They're definitely stronger. Their ships, let's see what their ships are designed to do. They are mostly laser point defense ships as well. So high-level shields is really good against the Kalaktora. But unfortunately, that fleet there has been defeated. So now that I'm going into my ship designer, going against them, knowing that they are mostly, knowing that they're mostly shields, I can now focus my ships to have high-level shields, which should protect me from their style ships a bit more effectively. Oh, perfect. You're going to attack me. I'm down for that. And I can squish your fleet, repair real quick, and push deep into your territory. in a blink of an eye.
Research actualized.
Nice. Next research. Let's go with Command Matrix for a little bit of ship fire boost. Another thing you can do is to use some rare resources to do a little bit more damage. So I can use some to raise my armor. Why not? My shield boost. That sounds good. My kinetic weapon damage.
Upscaling complete.
Even my fuel, although I don't really need sublight speed. Alright, so this fleet is all set. Let's go on the offensive. If we look, they think they're doing well. So we really need to reverse that trend. But alas, I am out of time. So if you have any questions for me about Stellaris, I might not be as knowledgeable as a pro, but I have put a lot of time into this game. I might be able to help you. If you have any feedback or anything like that, drop me a line. And let me finish up this research. Yeah, let's go for cruisers now. I do dearly hope that you tune in next time. Well, thank you for watching, and adios, everybody.